Hello, I'm Paul Sokol, and welcome to Campaign Spelunking. In today's episode, we're going to go through the next caves, which they're all kind of the same. It's all behavior-based automation. So we're going to look at a couple of different businesses. Now, you see this LSP, which I think I've spoken about. It stands for Local Service Providers. So these campaigns are assuming some kind of a service that is local. And I guess that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and rip through Paul, Belinda, and these treasures here. So, all right. So we're seeing, again, because I'm a dinosaur, we're seeing old Twitter and Facebook logos that don't actually exist. These are just traffic sources. The idea was that we would be making social media broadcasts periodically, and people can either get a report on this particular book, or they can at least sign up for a quote of the day, which would give them daily quotes, and then because we have their email on file, we can just go ahead and send them the book. As we've seen with previous campaigns, these are probably empty. It's mostly just the high-level construct of it to make it happen. So this actually makes it a little easier. So we publish stuff on social media, and then we go ahead and hit our list. Hey, go look at this post. It's a good way to use email. If they're in the quote of the day bit, they can get some daily quotes. Call to actions, get the book. Otherwise, we just get a report on the book. My assumption would be that the link to this is on all the profiles, link in bio, that kind of stuff, to get this book. So now, talking about automation based on behavior, once somebody has requested the report, or the book in this case, we're going to have them download this Word doc. That's how throwback this is. Put a thumbs up. And then, of course, if they download it, we follow up with them. But even if they never download it, we're still pushing them to this book promotion, which, looking at this goal, says click through to Amazon. My assumption is we're pushing people to buy this book online, or because there isn't that closed loop from an Amazon purchase to literally anything else. If they click through to Amazon, we can say, did you buy the book or not? And then if they said, yes, I purchased it, it goes here. Otherwise, if they buy it online because of some sales page or something, there's the general follow-up. And they say, no, I haven't yet purchased the book. That's okay, because then they go into this long-term book promotion, which is where everybody kind of ends up, even if all they do is just get the report or request it. So we're selling on the back end, but if you don't engage with it, you're not going to know that this thing exists. And sure, there's plenty of people that argue, well, no, you should tell people that. Which, again, you can see there's a handful of ways people can show up in this book promo. Either they say not yet, or they've gone through this purchase series which says, hey, did you get it? Whether or not they said no, if they didn't, they still go here, and then I'm holding shift, by the way. That's how I can select multiple things. If they make it through the book promotion, basically everybody ends up here. It's almost like a ground. So this is the behavior-based bits for this particular model. Now, let's go look at the next one. Number 56. So, again, we're seeing these old traffic sources. So either people can come from a website, or your newsletter list, or your existing list, or I guess a job has been completed. Now this note template, look at that, look at that delightful typo. I just held shift for 100 milliseconds or so longer than you should have. but this is a note template. So at any point in time, it's like a big red automation button. People can go, yeah, job completed, note template, and then it starts this off. So there's a new customer sequence. Likely these will be empty. We'll just double check. Yep, nothing here. So there's a new customer. We're inviting them to a survey, and they're supposed to give us feedback on this survey. We see this distinction here of they've clicked to it, they've not filled it out, so they're hot for that thing, that behavior, that automation based on behavior. So I guess let's talk about this. If this is going to a customer sequence, I'd probably, and again, job completed. So the marketing has done its job, sales has done its job, fulfillment has delivered on what they bought, and now it's done. Here's your hamburger, go do your thing. Now we're asking them about that. So the assumption is job's completed, they go to the new customer sequence, we would probably immediately ask them to take the survey, and then if they don't, now the reminder, this is interesting, maybe it comes out a week later, maybe it comes out a month later, perhaps even 90 days later, a quarter is when it comes out, because I don't know what they were actually selling. So if they're selling this massive thing, sure, email them for a survey and then wait 90 days to do it. Or if it was a basic service like I mowed your lawn, then take our survey, and then if you don't do it within a week, take it again. You know, we can remind them of that. We don't want to create an unsubscribe risk for ourselves. So it's all based on the buying cycle and the fulfillment cycle too. And so that's something really important to consider as far as sending out automation. As far as the hot survey, I'd probably do something like within 30 minutes, if we don't see this survey come in, send them an email, hey, did you forget to take the survey? Again, based on the business though, maybe you wait until a weekday, crazy notion, and then ask them to take the survey again. Like, who knows? The point here is that there is a distinction between people that are satisfied or not satisfied with it. Because I'm a nerd, I would always recommend giving people at least 3 options, either the yes, the no, or like the maybe in between neutral bit. But let's just say that based on the survey, it's either, yeah, we love you, you're great, or this didn't work that good. In all cases, now this is interesting, because this is actually redundant. We'll talk about that in a second. If they're satisfied with the service, we say, great, give us a referral, and then there's an outreach process, which again, there's nothing in here. We cannot legally collect emails of people that are my friend. I can't just be like, hey, go reach out to my friend George, right? But we can provide a referral, and then an individual sales rep can follow up with them. Crazy notion. I get it. But even if they never do it, as far as providing a referral, you can see that if they're satisfied, it still goes into... Actually, so the model, talking about automation on behavior, if they don't provide a referral, at the end of this sequence, they're going to automatically flow into this long-term nurture, which, again, doesn't have anything. So given the fact there's a long-term nurture at the end of this, I would assume that well, we know it's a service. It's the local service provider. It's where the LSP comes from. So maybe this is like a home cleaning business, or we mow the lawn, or wash your windows, or we do the flowers in your little corporate hallway. Whatever the case is, there's a long-term nurture. So if I were to do this now, I would actually have, if they provide a referral, I would also point them to the long-term nurture. It's important. We want to keep bringing them in. Now, if they're dissatisfied with the service, we're given a task to handle it. And then there's going to be an internal form, which again we've spoken about earlier. Internal form, that distinction didn't really exist in 2012 whenever this thing was created as far as campaign, the campaign canvas, but we had an internal feedback form to where the person could figure out what's going on, and then someone hits a button and says, yeah, we've dealt with it. And then there you go, glad we fixed your problem, give us referrals now. So that's where it goes. Super fascinating. A lot more to talk about than I thought we could. And then let's go ahead and see how this translates to this last one for local storage treasures. Now, this model is dumbly simple. If you've ever watched Storage Wars or something like that, that's basically what their business was. So they just had this massive list, and they just wanted to send a broadcast to people. Here's an initial email 3 days later at, I guess, 5 a.m. I think maybe it's a time zone issue. We send it to them again. The whole point is they were just trying to get people to follow them on Facebook. They were trying to build their social media. For them, that was the automation that was important. And so as far as automation based on behavior, yeah, if we send the initial email and they click to Facebook, they don't need to see the second email. And if they do click, we say, great, thanks for your activity. Here's something else that you can do. So maybe here's a post to share or something like that. So if I were to expand this, I would probably create a merge field for name of social media post. And then I would also create a link for social media post. And then that's basically what these emails would say. It's like, thanks for clicking to like to our page. Here's a latest cool post we made. Click it to share it. And that would basically be it. So the idea here was kind of minimizing that unsubscribe risk, which of course, maybe it's not of course, as we know watching this, because everybody is super smart that's watching these videos, and thanks for making it this far into the video. If we're hitting our entire list with an email, there's going to be a lot of unsubscribes. There's just the risk for that. The notion of warming up a domain and breaking it based on engagement, that didn't really exist 10 years ago. I mean, it did, and it wasn't a thing for the most part. So that's what this is doing. So automation based on behavior, you can absolutely just dump people into some automation, get them to go somewhere, or as we saw with Belinda, you can be a service, and then you can follow up with them, and then hopefully based on their response of happy or no, you say give us a referral. And then of course with this was more of a marketing sales journey. There really wasn't a lot of fulfillment on there, but it's just like getting people to the point where they're about it. So that's Campaign Spelunking for this episode. And if you loved it, let us know what you thought. If you thought something wasn't cool, tell us too, and we'll address those in future videos. And if you're going to do anything, of course, you might as well be pro.